Donald Trump's Department of Justice announced that they will be holding a meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell as she's currently incarcerated in prison, serving a 20-year sentence after being convicted in a sex trafficking case. So after Congress essentially shut itself down at MAGA Mike Johnson's demand, and he said in order to give time for Donald Trump to think through how he's going to be handling the Epstein situation, and as Congress, to their credit, a MAGA Republican named Tim Burchett, he orchestrated a subpoena that went out, or that will be going out, issued by Congress to Ghislaine Maxwell for her deposition. So as that's taking place, you got MAGA Mike saying, all right, we're going into recess, shut it down, as the subpoena issues for Congress to take Ghislaine Maxwell's deposition. And now Donald Trump's Department of Justice says that they will be meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell in prison, and Donald Trump's former criminal defense attorney, Todd Blanche, turned number 2 at the Department of Justice. He's now the Deputy Attorney General. He says that he's going to be one of the people involved in this. So here's what he posted this week. He goes, "Justice demands courage. For the first time, the Department of Justice is reaching out to Ghislaine Maxwell to ask, what do you know? At Attorney General Pam Bondi's direction, I've contacted her counsel. I intend to meet with her soon. No one is above the law, and no lead is off limits." Now, wait a minute. Was that really for the first time? I would think that the United States Attorney, or AUSA, Assistant United States Attorney, who prosecuted her, was probably reaching out and speaking to the attorney in the past. Who was that? Oh, that was Comey's daughter, Maureen Comey, who has gotten fired by Trump's DOJ. So I just want to try to sequence this all so everybody can understand. So at first, you have the Department of Justice saying that there are no Epstein files or lists and they're not going to release anything. Then you have Donald Trump saying, actually, there is, but it's a hoax created by Obama and Clinton and James Comey, Maureen Comey's dad. They created it. And then you have the MAGA Republicans in Congress trying to cover this up. And as Democrats were saying, release the files, release the files. You then have Maureen Comey get fired by the Department of Justice. You have Jeffrey Epstein's former attorney, Alan Dershowitz, who was actually Trump's former attorney, go out there and say, hey, Trump should reach out to Ghislaine Maxwell and either have her have a retrial or give her a pardon or a commutation on her sentence. Everyone's building this timeline. Then Congress issues a subpoena for Ghislaine Maxwell. And then the DOJ says, well, now the FBI and the DOJ, for the first time, we're going to be meeting with her. Justice demands courage. For the first time, the DOJ is reaching out to Ghislaine Maxwell to ask, what do you know? At Attorney Pam Bondi's direction, I've contacted her counsel. I intend to meet with her soon. No one is above the law and no lead is off limits. By the way, Donald Trump was asked about this during an Oval Office meeting with the president of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Here's what Donald Trump said. Let's play it.
Do you support the Justice Department seeking an interview with Ghislaine Maxwell? Did you urge the Attorney General to see?
I don't know anything about it. They're going to what? Meet her?
Your Deputy Attorney General has reached out to Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney asking for an interview.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do. You.
Do you think it's fair that you're...
I think that sounds appropriate. Let me ask a former United States attorney. Let me bring in Harry Litman, who runs the Talking Feds podcast, YouTube channel, and Substack. Harry, you were a former United States attorney. You were a former top official in the Justice Department. What are you seeing there? Is this normal all of a sudden, or is this past the smell test, Harry?
Nothing about this is normal. I mean, it is so far beyond the pale of what the Department of Justice normally does. Let's start here. When an AUSA and, my God, the Deputy Attorney General personally take action, it's pursuant to some investigation. There's a file, and the file has perhaps crimes to look into, etc. So it's quite clear that it's that those bromides at the end to Justice, as if now they're showing courage and justice to go and talk about her, to talk with Ghislaine Maxwell about what? Seems pretty clear about what, something that is not part of what the DOJ is supposed to do. They're trying to kind of get to the bottom of, it would be a nice way to put it, or sort of shape what she has to say, would be a less nice way to put it, vis-a-vis these roiling charges that are only increasing of Trump's supposed friendship with Epstein. So we had yesterday Epstein's ex-girlfriend say they were the best of buddies, wingman and bro and that kind of thing. We have another victim saying that two things are going on here, Ben, at least. One is the whole Wall Street Journal defamation suit, which has come to focus completely on the existence of the letter and it's having been reviewed within DOJ. That's what the Wall Street Journal reported. But then it seems to be just rolling out of control. MAGA Mike, as you put it, was a little bit ago going to at least entertain some motion or was making some noises about how this stuff should come out. He's now literally left town, closed down Congress's business, of which it has a lot, for 5 days, just so Democrats can't make this motion. So it's at the same time that there's a real focus within the Wall Street Journal defamation suit. It's also now gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and sort of more amorphous. And there's suggestions in there now of sexual impropriety and the like. Now, that's normally not, they could try to charge it here or they could investigate, but that doesn't seem to be what's in the offing. So to me, it seems plain that the Deputy Attorney General, who is, supposed to prosecute cases or call the shots in the department, is taking it upon himself to go back to his old role as defender of Donald Trump and try to get Ghislaine Maxwell to basically contradict what everyone's saying about the cozy and extensive relationship. Now, based on what and why and what's the investigation? Obviously, she's going to want something. She's, got a long sentence, longer supposedly than she expected. It's up on appeal. She's got to be thinking, well, what can they give me? But the notion that what they're seeking, which is essentially to shape or have testimony from her to contradict all the allegations now swirling around about Trump's relationship with Epstein. That's not DOJ business. It's got it's got nothing to do with what they normally do, and it's just without even pretense. They're trying to put out a political scandal. That's not part of the Deputy Attorney General's job description.
Let's play it out for everybody. We could do the different roles. Why don't you pretend to be Todd Blanche or somebody at the Department of Justice? I will be Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer. Okay, you're calling me. Hello, who is it?
Yeah. Hey, Bill, I forget it. But by the way, he's got to go through the lawyer because she's still represented in a pending matter.
You got to do the role play.
I know there's a lot of stuff out there where they are saying things about Trump and Epstein and Ghislaine. We just want to get to the truth. And if we can get to the truth and form a good statement, I think there may be a way to help your client out and go to the court and extol your cooperation. And maybe we can also, as we've done in a few cases recently where people were convicted, just really go for a very, very short sentence. So I wouldn't put it this way in court, but, between us, we've known each other a long time. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
She knows a lot. You obviously know that. And I don't know what she remembers or what she doesn't remember. And look, it's possible she remembers everything. And it's also possible, I don't know, I'm going to have to speak to her, that she really doesn't remember all that much. And so I think this is the start of a productive conversation where obviously she's going through a lot of stress right now, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And we're going to need firm assurances, though, regardless that this is going to be real. And so I'll get back to you, but we'll see what she knows. But you know, she was at the center of all of this. And then a few conversations.
Look, old buddy, we know. Look, she was really in the middle. I have confidence, and you know, we have people who can question her and help her remember things. That's what we do all the time, and just to figure out what really happened here. And I hear you, but I'm sure we can do it in a way that will satisfy both of us.
Yeah, and I think that's the key part. We need to make sure that she leaves here with the assurances that she needs. And so we'll talk. It's got to be done at the highest level, and I'm sure she'll appreciate this overture. So end scene right there. That's what'll happen. And Harry, whether this will be done in the form of a commutation on Trump's way out, you know, that is pre-delivered to her lawyer, that the lawyer holds on to a document in case. That's what her lawyer will probably ask for. I need to see it in writing. We'll put it in escrow. We'll put it in a safe so that if you screw us with this, we're going to come out and show that you wrote it. But you commute her sentence the day he's out of the office. What does he have to lose anyway at that point? That's what they're clearly going to be negotiating. And so she doesn't remember things. But here's the thing.
Let me just say, this is not the Deputy Attorney General's job. This is maybe her lawyer's job. But so go ahead.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I truly believe, given our knowledge of how these things could happen, you know, and what and where we've studied Trump corruption, I think it probably looks very similar to what you just saw right there. And we'll see, you know, at the end of the day. Then the question is, though, does that make people go away, or will people be very suspicious that someone who was in the middle of everything suddenly doesn't remember everything, and people are still going to say, we want the files. Okay, whatever. We don't care about Ghislaine. Give us the freaking file that you have. That's what you promised to release. So, Harry, I enjoyed.
And I'll just say as to that, remember when it came to the files and they were going to release, and then they backed away from it. That's what people have gotten people up in arms. In a funny way, what's happening here is just because of they're trying to control it, it seems to be having the opposite effect and dynamic. So, you know, there's a lot of ways in which it looks to me as if Trump has tried to change the subject today. Then that in and of itself just shows that this is serious business at the White House, and they really are concerned. It's the first time that MAGA has been up in arms. But I just got to say, as the former U.S. Attorney and Deputy Assistant Attorney General, you know, there could be an investigation here of everything up to and including Epstein's suicide, which people seem to feel was not a suicide. But right now, the sort of freestanding just waltz into her her jail cell and try to sort of, you know, get her on Trump's side, because he can offer her stuff and the other side can't. You know, that is a really unsettling proposition. You have the highest brass of the DOJ going in and representing, it seems to me, Donald Trump personally, and not the cause of justice, and in a pretty high stakes matter. So, you know, there's something rotten still on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Everybody subscribe to Harry Litman's YouTube channel. It's called Talking Feds. His Substack called Talking Feds, and his podcast called Talking Feds. Subscribe to them all. Thanks, Harry.
We ran out of clever names. Yeah.
Thanks.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.